Good afternoon, neighbors. As many of you know, I'm Joe Gallo, your mayor in Rolling Meadows. So much has gone on since the early days of March, and as you know, we're all informed on the latest news as it relates to the northwest suburbs and the greater Chicagoland area. But what we don't necessarily have is a complete understanding on how the COVID-19 pandemic is impacting us at a local level. It's for this reason I'm hosting a weekly update, sharing with you as much as I'm able to. The first step in making this possible was addressing our overall communications process. Many of us in the city and on city council were inundated with a barrage of information and updates coming into our inboxes and our phones. For this reason, we established a dedicated web page on the city's website for all relevant links and the latest updates so they could be centrally located. It's far better for us as elected officials to guide residents to resources than it is for us as elected officials to individually feed a frenzy by independently sharing information as soon as it becomes available. So that brings us to now. For the past 15 days or so, we've been strictly funneling information to the city's website, which is www.cityrm.org. You'll see a COVID-19 updates page as one of the first things about midway down on that homepage on the left-hand side. And once you get on that page, you'll find links for areas like the Centers for Disease Control or the Illinois Department of Public Health. We're continuously adding more links to this page as more resources and tools become available to help businesses and residents navigate their way through this pandemic. For example, I've asked the Chamber of Commerce to send out surveys to the businesses in our community so they can return updates on how their business within their respective industry here in the community are being directly affected. Since this data is finally starting to make its way back, I'll be sharing information along with their requests as how the city may be able to help them and also what residents can do to possibly contribute as well. As I hear how this pandemic is affecting residents, when reoccurring themes become prevalent, I'll be sure to share that along with what options might exist to remedy those issues. I'll also keep you up to date on a number of confirmed COVID-19 infections that exist in suburban Cook County, as well as specifically in Rolling Meadows. Now, keep in mind this information is extremely fluid and updating frequently, so it's best if inquiring minds seek to source this information directly from the website. The website can be found at the Cook County Department of Public Health's COVID-19 page, but it'll also be available on the city's COVID-19 Quick Links page as well. I need to remind everyone that this is still a very serious threat to the community, so we cannot let our guard down on social distancing. Staying at home when not critically necessary to be out in public is also extremely important too, especially when this weather begins to get nice. I've heard that those who are venturing out in public have done so using face protection and rubber gloves. And while I can't comment on whether or not this is a safe practice or just a false sense of security, what I can comment on is those who use that, some of them have left their discarded gloves and masks in the carts or on the ground in the parking lot. Please pick up after yourself if you're going to use these personally protective items. We don't need that in the cart for the next consumer, and we don't need that floating around in our parking lots. I've also received phone calls saying not everyone is avoiding shopping centers when it's a dedicated time for seniors or immune-sensitive people to be shopping at. Please obey those hours if a store has a set time because it's not easy for that store to monitor everyone who's coming in and out at those times. This first edition, I want you to know I've heard from 10 different local businesses in the community. And those 10 businesses operate in different industries. Those industries range from corporate office, spa services, restaurants and cafes, nonprofits, manufacturing, travel, retail, and construction. So it's quite a diverse spread of information that's coming back, and I'm pleased with that. The businesses in manufacturing, they've had their supply chains severely disrupted, but it hasn't caused them to stop operations yet, given the amount of supply that they have on hand. Operations have fully ceased or are operating at extremely limited capacities for our nonprofits, our retailers, the travel, or our restaurant and spa services. We know everyone's eager to get back to business as usual, but as it stands, Business is anything but usual right now. One common theme I've heard from both business community members and residents is a request for information and resources about emergency funding or how to document their hardships. The city is actively gathering those resources, and they'll be available on our COVID-19 page shortly as well. Those tools that small businesses can use for small business loans and disaster relief, they can be found in the meantime at our Rolling Meadows Chamber of Commerce website. While speaking about our local businesses, I'd like to leave you with one kind moment, and that is RTC, a local business in Rolling Meadows, recently donated 240 protective N95 face masks to our fire department last week on Tuesday, March 31st. If I can say one thing that has come from this challenging time, it's the noticeable kindness and generosity I've seen from people who are really pulling together in these trying times. So it's on that note, I'll ask that you stay safe and be well. And until next time, I'll see you soon.